The emergency klaxon screamed through the corridors of Research Station Kepler-7 as the atmospheric processor's readings spiked beyond all safe parameters. Commander Zexhai, of the Altarian Science Division, watched the displays with mounting horror, his chitinous exoskeleton clicking nervously as his forearms worked frantically across multiple control panels. "Commander." Sub-Lieutenant Veltar's voice crackled through the comm, barely audible over the howling winds battering the station's reinforced hull. "The storm's intensity has exceeded all projections. Wind speeds are approaching 400 kilometers per hour, with electrical discharge readings off our instrument's maximum range." Through the reinforced transparisteel viewport, Zexhai could see the hellish maelstrom that had engulfed their research outpost on the frontier world of Nexus Prime. What had begun as routine atmospheric studies of the planet's unique weather patterns had become a fight for survival. The storm, if it could even be called that, was unlike anything in the galactic database. Lightning arced between the clouds in impossible patterns, each bolt carrying enough energy to power a small city. The rain fell not in droplets but in torrential sheets that struck the station like liquid hammers. "Sir," came another voice through the static, this one from Engineer Cathano in the lower sections. "The human is requesting permission to go outside." Zexhai's mandibles clicked in disbelief. "What did you just say?" "The human, Dr. Sarah. Chen. She's at Emergency Airlock 7, fully suited and insisting she needs to collect atmospheric samples during peak storm activity. She says the data could be crucial for our research." The Altarian commander felt his secondary heart skip a beat. Humans. Even after 3 years of working alongside Dr. Chen, he still couldn't comprehend their species' apparent death wish. Where any rational being saw danger, humans saw opportunity. Where others fled, they charged forward with that peculiar gleam in their eyes that his people had learned to both fear and admire. "Absolutely not," Zexhai chittered into his comm. "No one, and I mean no one, leaves this station until the storm passes. That's a direct order." But even as he spoke, he watched through the external cameras as Emergency Airlock 7 cycled open. A small figure in an environmental suit stepped out onto the station's external platform, immediately buffeted by winds that would have torn lesser beings apart. Dr. Chen, of course, had ignored his order entirely. "Magnificent," came her voice, through the comm, filled with an enthusiasm that made Zexhai's blood run cold. "The electromagnetic readings are incredible. Veltar, are you getting this data?" The human scientist had deployed some kind of portable sensor array and was somehow maintaining her footing on the rain-slicked platform. Lightning crashed around her, each bolt close enough to cook her instantly, yet she moved with purpose and confidence that defied all logic. Dr. Chen returned to the station immediately. Zexhai commanded, "You're in extreme danger." Her laughter, actually laughing in the face of certain death, came through crystal clear despite the interference. "Commander, this storm isn't trying to kill us, it's trying to show us something. Look at the patterns." Despite himself, Zexhai found his attention drawn to the displays. The storm's electromagnetic signature was indeed unusual, almost like a complex mathematical sequence. But surely that was coincidence, a trick of pareidolia that humans were so prone to. "The planet isn't just experiencing weather," Dr. Chen continued, her voice filled with wonder as she adjusted her equipment. Another lightning bolt struck mere meters away, but she didn't even flinch. "It's communicating. The storm patterns, the electromagnetic pulses, they're following prime number sequences." On the external cameras, Zexhai watched in horror and fascination as the human began to dance. Actually dance, spinning and moving across the platform, with her arms outstretched, face turned toward the torrential sky. The sight was so alien, so incomprehensibly human, that it left the entire bridge crew speechless. "She's lost her mind," whispered Veltar, his own exoskeleton trembling. "The storm has driven her insane." But the data streams told a different story. As Dr. Chen moved, her equipment continued to function perfectly, gathering readings that would have been impossible from inside the station. More importantly, the storm itself seemed to be responding to her presence. The chaotic lightning strikes began forming more organized patterns, the wind speeds actually decreasing in her immediate vicinity. Impossible, Zexhai breathed, watching his instruments. The storm it's modulating its output based on her movements. Through the comm, Dr. Chen's voice came again, breathless but exhilarated. It's beautiful. Can you feel it? The planet's trying to establish contact through atmospheric manipulation. The storm isn't a natural phenomenon. It's an attempt at first contact. As if responding to her words, the lightning suddenly intensified, but instead of random strikes, the bolts began forming geometric patterns in the sky. The Altarian crew watched in stunned silence as the storm literally rewrote itself, transforming from a chaotic tempest into something resembling a vast, three-dimensional message written in electricity and rain. Dr. Chen stood at the center of it all, still dancing, still laughing with pure joy as torrents of water cascaded around her. Where the aliens saw only death and destruction, she had found wonder and beauty. Where they perceived chaos, she discovered communication. Recording all data stream, and Veltar reported quietly, his voice filled with awe. This is going to change everything we know about planetary consciousness and atmospheric intelligence. Hours later, when the storm finally subsided and Dr. Chen returned to the station, Zexhai found himself looking at the human scientist with new eyes. Her hair was still damp, her cheeks flushed with excitement, and she carried herself with the satisfied air of someone who had just unlocked one of the universe's greatest secrets. "Commander," she said, setting down her data recorders, "I'd like to recommend we establish a permanent research station here. This planet isn't just alive, it's been waiting for someone brave enough to listen." Zexhai clicked his mandibles, thoughtfully. His people had survived for millennia by avoiding unnecessary risks, by running from danger rather than embracing it. But humans danced in the rain while lightning struck around them. And somehow, impossibly, the universe danced back. "Approved, Dr. Chen," he said finally. "Though next time you plan to waltz with a potentially sentient storm system, please give us more warning." Her grin was brilliant. "Where's the fun in that, Commander?" As he filed his report that night, Zexhai reflected on the day's events. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but perhaps the greatest wonder of all was the human ability to find joy and discovery in the very things that terrified everyone else. While aliens shivered at the storm, humans danced in the rain, and somehow that made all the difference.